Hello everyone, my name is Avalon, and as you remember last time, we finally got the Kokiri sword, which is genuinely massive. We can do so much now, so that's awesome. And we just beat the Great Deku Tree, which was inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly, which has given us the Forest Medallion. So we're getting closer and closer to going and meeting and defeating Ganon. Oh, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Meeting and defeating. So, of course, we're going through this Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer, and last time I focused more actually on what was going on in the randomizer, which, you know, I enjoyed doing, and I think I might spend a little bit more time focusing on the randomizer, doing more of a Let's Play sort of style series and less of the random rambling, but I still do have things that I wish to randomly ramble about. And today I thought I was going to talk about oh good lord, what was that? Apparently I am unable to just do a simple diving maneuver. There we go. Super. So today I was going to talk a little bit about 3D and 2D games. I previously did bring it up about how, you know, there's in the, I think it was the very first episode I talked about this, where some people view the Metroidvania series as a 2D only series, and some people view it as a 3D only series, and well, actually that's not true. No one believes it's a 3D only series, but there's some people that believe that 3D games don't fit in particularly well, and as previously mentioned, I don't agree with them, which is totally fine. You're allowed to not agree with people. It's as long as you're all adults and no one's horrid about it, then, you know, it's just a disagreement. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with people. But yeah, so, you know, I thought along that sort of line of thought, I'd talk about some of the advantages to both styles of games. I thought I'd look at 3D games first, since, you know, we're playing a 3D game. And sort of just have a little sort of discussion about why I like 3D Metroidvanias, such as, of course, this one that I'm playing right now. But of course there are others. There's definitely a grotto here somewhere. I've talked about this before, actually, while talking about 3D stuff. When you've got space like this to explore, it doesn't matter if it's 3D or 2D, and there's like a hidden thing that has no reason for it to be there. It's very... I've already done this as well. It's very frustrating to have to deal with that. You know, it's actually going to be faster to pop in here and see how many Skulltulas I've got, rather than actually... I've got 10, okay. What have you got for me? Some arrows, that was so unhelpful. So yeah, I find that 3D Metroidvanias, and I'm going to spend a lot of time focusing on the Zelda series and also the Darksiders series for this, because both are pretty big for me. And the the Zelda series ones are very special and very unique. And they're set up with the intention of telling a story, of an epic adventure, a quest, which I love. I think that they're well designed for that, but I don't think that's specific to them being in this format. I think that the 2D Zelda games are also set up with that intention of setting up an epic adventure and or quest. So I don't think it's something that you're stuck into the 3D world to do so. I mean, even if you look at, for example, Hollow Knight I've spoken about, that absolutely tells a good story if you're willing to look for it. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, it's not... I'm not trying to say that, you know, it's doing anything special being 3D in that. I'm just saying that, you know, they wanted to tell a story, and the 3D format has worked better for that in this instance. And then If you look at, for example, Twilight Princess especially, it's there to give that sort of feeling of grandeur, and everything's big and massive and stuff. So yeah, it's cool. I'm just looking for the Skulltulas that are around here. I need to go and find the boomerang, really. I can't even hear him. Have I already got him? Guess I've already done that. Right, well, let's go and do the start of Lord Jabu Jabu. I still haven't found Dodongo's cavern. I reckon it must be at the bottom of the well. Where have I still not been, actually? I haven't done the start of the water temple. I haven't got iron boots, so I can't do that. Can't do the start of the shadow temple because I haven't got... well, one, I haven't got the hover boots, but more importantly and more pertinently, I still haven't got the hook shot as Adult Link. Which is a real pain. Because we went through a whole bunch of the forest temple, but we couldn't finish it, of course, without the hook shot. We could go and do some stuff in the fire temple, I suppose. So yeah. But another thing that 3D Zeldas do particularly well is their understanding of how to use the 3D space. I can't think of any other 3D platformers that quite have the same sort of dungeon feel the Ocarina and Skyward Sword games have. I think that Twilight Princess is slightly weaker in this aspect, and Majora's Mask definitely. But if you look at, for example, Skyward Sword temples, they're much more grand. They're much more, you need to think about the whole temple. You can't just think about room by room sort of stuff. You have to think about everything. I really appreciate that. And oh, I've just realised actually, by defeating the yes, that's good. So by defeating the Great Deku Tree, it's actually triggered some storyline events now as well. So we'll be able to get out of the way. We'll be able to go in here now, because this is now open. Nope, we won't be able to go in there now. Ah, that's post the Zelda cutscene, isn't it? Darn. I still haven't found that. Oh, I got all excited then. Oh well. Nip in the shops real quick. I can't remember what was in the shops, to be honest. I should probably write this stuff down. Oh, and I can also... I need to... Did I do Ice Cavern? Oh, claim check. That's handy. I already knew that was there. We've seen this before. I just forgotten about it. Okay, cool. Did the bomb tube bowling alley, so that's fine. Superb. Yeah, but yeah, so Skyward Sword dungeons, you know, they're so well thought out and intricate. You can't just have small individual room puzzles. They're always linked to bigger things around the dungeon. For example, the big statue that goes up and down, or the time stone on the ship as well, where you have to hit it from different angles. Now, I appreciate that for some bizarre reason, Nintendo thought that every single human being was a complete moron and didn't understand anything about the world, and they put Fee into that game, who, you know, as much as Navi does annoy me, she isn't anywhere near as bad as Fee was for interrupting and just frankly giving away story, like, information that I want. I know that there's a grotto for one of these pea hats. Or there's a grotto with a pea hat around here somewhere, actually. Let's go find it. Have I done the chicken flying thing in the valley as well while I'm here? We'll just go and swing around, see what we've got. Yeah, so, you know, if you ignore the fact that Fee is far too engaged in the storyline, in the involvement of your quest, sorry, and you can just pretend that if you can just ignore her, if you could turn off Fee, do you know what, that game would be brilliant. Because there's this one room, for example, where, if you haven't played it, there's, in the pirate ship, you've got, the game is based around, or the temple theme is based around these things called time stones, which change the local time. And you have to work out how to hit this time stone, because in the future, the machinery's working. And no, in the past, sorry, the machinery's working because it's been abandoned now. And in the future, oh Lord, just hit the nubble. There we go, just in time as well. Ah, there's the hole. Oh, we're in night time now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so in the past, the machinery's working, which means that there's stuff like electric doors and stuff. Oh, that's not it. And the electric doors and whatnot, when you're in the future or present, it's all been abandoned and destroyed and stuff. I'm sure there was like a grotto with a peahat in it. Am I just misremembering this? In the future, yeah, the dust and stuff has blocked up other doors, so you have to try and work out, if you're in the future or in the past, what parts of the dungeon can you access, which is something that, again, Zelda games in general do really well with, is, you know, having that sort of intrigue and balance between the different types of world that you can have, or different ways of thinking in dungeons that you have. That's why I like Metroidvanias in general, because a good Metroidvania dungeon, you can go through, say, so much of the dungeon, and you pick up the item, and it completely recontextualizes the dungeon. So a good example of that would be Majora's Mask, with the water temple. The turtle takes you there, and you have a wee look around. And yeah, it does a good job of recontextualizing the whole dungeon, because you get the ice arrows, and suddenly there's loads of platforms you can create, and you can go back to rooms you've been to before with lots of water, and instead of having to, you know, don the Zora mask and make your way around them or whatever, you can now actually just sort of create a platform along a row of ice platforms, you know, to get to new places. You see what I'm trying to say? You know, you get the item and it changes how previous rooms have been for you. Oh, there's a cow. Is there a chest in here as well? Skull 2 lower. And a gossip stone. I suppose it's not the end of the world that I can't access this properly yet. Cool. Yeah, and so, alright, that's an item for an example, but it's what I like about Metroidvanias is when you've got big grand dungeons like this that you have to really think about what you're doing with them. You can't just do. And, you know, I can't really fault the 3D Zelda games for doing that. They are very good at showing off everything that could be. I don't remember doing this, so I'm going to assume that I haven't done it yet. No! No! You stupid chicken! What have you done? Oh, I hate you, chicken. Wow. Shouldn't blame the chicken. That was all on me. I should have just been better, and I was not. Oh my lord, that's awful. Ooh, that, however, is the sound of a golden skull tulip, which is not awful. I'm hoping this isn't one of the many, many, many skull tulips that you need the boomerang for. It is. Perfect. So I messed up the chicken. Messed up collecting. I think it was just a seed upgrade. You have to correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that was just a seeds upgrade for the slingshot. Which would have mattered a lot until I got the sword, and now doesn't matter quite so much. Oh, that's a long old walk back. Christ. Still, we will head back. What was I talking about? Was it recontextualizing dungeons? So, the way that the pirate ship that I was talking about in Skyward Sword works is that obviously you've got to keep an eye on where this time stone is. So the section beforehand, you have time stones where you need them. And it kind of teaches you that, you know, if you need a time stone, there it is, do your thing, off you toddle. However, the changing the time in the pirate ship, there's only one time stone on the ship, so you've got to work out how to do it. And obviously I spoke about the doors, how in one time period one set of doors are open and the other set of doors are open. So there's this room that you can go in, and you get in there in the past or whatever, so the electric doors are on. And then you have to, so you go into this room and there's an electric door in the way, so you go out of it again and you hit the time stone in the middle of the ship, and you come back in, you realise there's actually the other type of door, the dust doors, we'll call them, are blocking the way for you to progress. So you have to be able to get into that room in the future, then change time to get to the past, so that the electric door opens in front of you and you can proceed. Now, that's cool. That's a really cool puzzle setup that will require a lot of thought from a lot of people. However, and this is where the however comes in. It was a seeds upgrade, yeah. That's something. Yeah, the however is that although that is a really good setup, and I very much appreciate that setup, I just realised there's nothing down here as a kid, is there, if you haven't got cow sanity on? Oh well. You can get a revenge on the chicken at least. Okay, super. Well, we've done that. We said we were going to do that. We've done that. Now we can head to the Lost Woods, do the other bit. I still can't believe I've got the Cucco as well, though. Oh well, we'll work it out. Yeah, so this room, it turns out that there's some, like, if you look around the room, there's some grates in the ceiling that you can shoot an arrow through, and if you stand in the right direction, you can shoot an arrow through them and line it up with the time stone, which is a really good way to use your 3D environment. You know, it makes the player think in more than the simple terms of what's in the room. They have to think about the world and how it all fits together, and you know, the logic of the sort of place that they're in, and I love that. However, it doesn't account for what's the word I'm looking for? it doesn't account. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't account for the fact that Fee is gonna immediately jump out when you go into that room for the first time, and points out that you can see the time stone through the grates in the wall that would probably fit an arrow through them. I can't remember her exact word, but it is very simply there's a hole in the ceiling that you could shoot an arrow through, and it's kind of like, well, that's just taken away all of the fun of working this out and proceeding. So it's kind of lame, or I think it's kind of lame anyway. There's a similar same dungeon where you've got the same thing. You know, you can't get into a room in one time period and you can't get out of it in the other. So you go in, and then immediately again, Fee tells you there's a lifeboat outside, so you can climb through the galley windows onto the lifeboat and then shoot an arrow off again. And it just, you know, the hand holding really ruins what could be some great 3D puzzles, which is something that Ocarina of Time didn't, or I never really felt that it had. And I'll be honest, you'll have to provide me your opinion on this, because I don't know if that's nostalgia talking. You know, I'm very nostalgic about this game, and I've got a lot of history with this game, so maybe I'm doing the wrong thing here. Maybe I'm wrong, and you know, it did handhold a lot. Obviously, I'm not including the Great Deku Tree in this, because obviously it is the Great Deku Tree, at least, is a tutorial dungeon, and I'd say Dodongo's Cavern is as well, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I just kind of feel like they have these great puzzles and they ruin them with stuff like that. And Darksiders did a similar thing for one of theirs as well, which really wound me up, where there's a cool puzzle and the Watcher, who is your companion in that game, suddenly pops his head up to tell you exactly what to do. And it's like, guys, can we just let the player work it out? Put them there as an option, like how Navi is in this game, where I can push up if I want help. Thank you, Navi. That was actually incredible timing. You know, if I want the help, I can push up, and Navi can be like, "Yo, do this," and I'll be like, "Oh, great, thanks, Navi. Now I know how to do that," and I'll go and do that. But no, instead, Skyward Sword ruins its amazing puzzles by doing stuff like that. There's a similar thing in the temple with the statue that I was mentioning earlier, where you have to lift it up, and literally at that point there is a big sign thing that says, "Oh, lift the tower up, or drop the tower back down and then go this route," or something. No, it wasn't a sign. In fact, it wasn't a sign. It was that you lift the thing back up, and you have to try and find a way back down, and then there's literally a sign that says, "Here's the way back down," just there, which is just insane, really. That you'd, you know, like, let the player find it. I don't think they trust their players enough in that game, or in a lot of 3D games. I don't know what that is, or what led to that. So I was supposed to talk about 2D as well, but you know, at this point I think I might call this one and take a quick break, and then I will rejoin you guys in Great Jabby Jabby's Belly. So I will see you next time.